Investors and traders, welcome to the channel Market Chart Pattern. Today is 27th of April 2024. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. In this video segment, we are going to take a look at the precious metals. Mainly, we'll be taking a look at the gold market. We'll take a look at the silver market. We'll also take a look at the gold bugs index and also the gold and silver ratio index as well. And then we'll focus on some of the gold miners and also the silver miners as well. With that, this video is only for educational purposes only, and it's not a financial advice. So we'll begin to take a look at the gold market, but before we do that, let's actually review what did the dollar do. So this is the daily chart for the US dollar. This is the dollar index. Dollar index is a basket of different currencies, the major 7 currencies, and out of this, about I believe 51% is the euro currency. So what we have seen is basically last Friday the dollar was pretty strong. In our other video segment in which we take a look at the stock indices, we had actually been discussing dollar index on a pretty much daily basis, and we were looking at this weakness in the dollar. But last Friday, as it approached the 20-day moving average, the dollar was pretty strong, and one of the reasons could be that there was this potential ABCD one-to-one price projection in this, which could be a source of strength coming into it, and that there we go. So here the view still remains that as long as the market is not able to clearly go above the 107 level, there is a possibility of stronger resistance between the 106.40 level and 107 level, which is the top around here. But because of the dollar being pretty strong, it is interesting to see that the gold market was not that strong last Friday. So we move back to the chart of gold, and what we have seen is actually the market closed positive. So let me actually turn it over to the candlestick because I think it's a little bit easier visually, although personally I do prefer the bar charts over the candlesticks because I think it's easier to see the open and the close and the low and high, and sometimes the signals are easily spotted in my personal opinion. However, from a presentation perspective, candlesticks are a little bit easier to see because they're bigger. And also, so what we are looking at here is the gold market testing the 38.2% retracement, where we have the 8-day simple moving average here as well. So what you see, the red line is the 8-period moving average, and the blue line is the 20-period moving average, and the price was not able to get above the 38.2% retracement. And there's one more element to it which I'm going to show you right now. So here we go. If we just move to shorter term 15-minute chart, this pattern formation that you see in this formation right here, colored formation, these triangles, is basically around here, around the 2360, a little bit above 2363 level. We have the ABCD completing and also the 38.2% retracement. So because the combination of 2 or more patterns or ratios coming together is always something we pay close attention to, because that is usually a stronger resistance support level. We have also seen the market push lower. But the other interesting thing is, if we were to just draw a trend line like this trend line has been respected as well. So the market is just kind of hovering around here. So what I believe is, because the dollar was pretty strong, but the gold market was pretty resilient and closed positive for the day, that is something to be noted. If we are able to close above, on daily closing basis, above the 2363, 2365 level, which is above the 38.2% retracement and this ABCD pattern formation, then chances are that the gold that we were looking at for maybe to correct down to the 38.2% retracement on the daily chart. So let me actually go back to the daily chart. Here we go. That scenario perhaps may not take place, and the gold might not retrace all the way down to 2275, which is the 38.2% retracement of this entire low to high, and it actually might begin to accelerate higher one more time, maybe test these highs or move or make another new all-time high. That possibility still remains. So the interesting thing is, or the key thing is, to keep on watching this 2365 level on the COMEX gold chart. If the price is able to close above that on daily closing basis, that's going to be a positive for the gold. If it keeps on closing lower, then the chances are it might actually rotate, and especially if it begins to break this trend line, rotate down all the way to this 38.2% retracement around 2275. So that's the scenario that we are watching in the COMEX gold market. Now I will also show you this chart. This is coming from the barchart.com, and what we see around here is basically the commitment of traders report. So what is commitment of traders report? It is a report published by the board, or you can find it on I believe it's published on the CBOT or CME website, and it is basically the data which shows different participants which are participating in the futures market. So those are commercials mainly. So the commercials are hedgers essentially. So these are not speculators. They might actually be the actual producers which are responsible, let's say for example the mining of the gold, or in for farmers, it could be farmers, big farmers, if it comes to software commodities. And then there are speculators, which could be hedge funds, it could be bigger banks or bigger traders as well. And then it also shows this blue line, which is basically small speculators, but still significant enough to be represented. And if you ever come to this, you'll be able to see here the red being the commercials, consisting of producers, merchant and processors, user and swap dealers. And then non-commercials are large speculators consisting of managed money and other reportables, and the blue line is actually small speculators. Now it is divided into two formats. The old format is on the left hand side. A few years ago they came up with a new format in which they were actually segregating it a little bit further. So that is on the right hand side, and the split that we see is the top one is the old report, and the down one is the segregation, which we see on the right hand side box here. So if we just focus on the top one for now, and here what we can see is essentially the red line being the commercials. If we were to just go back and see the activity of this group, we can see that just highlighting it here around the March of 2022, this is where these this group of investors or buyers, however you want to call them, they have been actually net short in terms of the total number of contracts, but the market was at a high, or you can even say double top, but it was making, I believe, a new high at that time. And then they started to accumulate, or they started to go long this market while the market was actually falling. That's because they are hedgers, and so, but they are also very clever group of participants in the marketplace, and they knew that perhaps this is the opportunity to begin accumulating, because the price, they might be able to get a better price later on, and essentially that's going to help them hedge whatever their produce is. So this is what we see, and then reached a point where they began to actually sell. And as the market is going up, they are actually selling. And the other group here, this is in the green, are the large speculators. They were extremely bullish right at the top, and then they began to sell, whereas this group was actually aggressively buying. And they are still, the commercial are still net short, and the speculators are still net long. And we haven't seen the kind of levels that we have seen in the past around January of 2020, where the commercials were extremely short and the buyers were extremely the speculators were extremely long. We haven't seen that situation just yet. So the chances are that actually the gold might actually keep on going higher. This is not a timing indicator at all. It's more of a condition that helps you understand how the bigger players in the marketplace might be positioned in the futures market. And the notable areas are, if we were to just take a note of this right here, this was a very different kind of a position back in September of 2018, when the speculators, they actually became net sellers for a little while, and the commercial in the red line became basically net buyers, and that was a significant bottom in the market. And we have seen the market accelerate, and we actually see the speculators keep on buying this one, and the commercials doing their hedging around here. Another significant one is this moment here, where for a short while, similar kind of scenario happened in December 2015, where the commercials became net buyers, or became kind of neutral around here for a short while, and we have seen a massive low taking place in the marketplace. So something to be aware of. It's good to take a look at this on weekly basis. It's not a timing tool at all. The reason is that I believe the data the data is accumulated on a Tuesday, and it gets published on the Friday of the week, so it's already a few days late, but it just helps to evaluate the condition and do our analysis. So I do look at it, but not very often, but on certain occasions it's actually good to take a look at this one. So with that, now let's take a look at the weekly chart of gold. So here we go. So the gold, this is what the weekly candle looks like. Again, the daily chart, we'll have to look at that level really carefully. On the monthly chart, think that we are in this ABCD, which can actually see us move higher towards 2600 to even 2700 is possible. So that's what we are looking at in gold. Let's take a look at the HUI, which is the gold box index. And here we'll just take a look at this on the weekly chart. Looks like it's in this ABCD formation higher to around 308. And then if we look at the gold and silver sector index, looks like it's also in the ABCD formation higher towards 157 or 158 level. So that's important to take a look at. Now we'll take a look at the silver market, and then we'll take a look at some of the individual gold stocks. Okay, so let's move and take a look at the silver futures. This is the COMEX. Here we can clearly see that the market has completed 38.2% retracement in the silver. Hasn't done that in gold, so the gold is actually stronger from a price action perspective. And here what we are looking at is you can see silver market finding resistance from the 8 period moving average and 20 period moving average. And if we were to just draw a retracement, I believe, I'm not entirely sure whether it's 38.2% or not. No, so it's actually a little bit weaker. So really watching this one, looks like the silver market is weaker than the gold market. So what is really important is for this market to hold this 61.8% retracement, which comes around 2653. If it begins to move above the 38.2% retracement around 2783 or above, then there's a chance that we might have seen a good low, and it could begin to move higher towards this 3075 level. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the gold miners. So we'll start by taking a look at Newmont Mining. It's a big gold miner, so one of the bigger ones, and probably I shouldn't say the best one, but when it comes to the gold miners, one really has to do their homework, because there are different kind of miners. There are miners which are actually mining the commodity, and then there are miners which are more like a royalty, like for example the Royal Gold. So they are not actually doing their work of mining, but they are just collecting the royalty. So different kind of a setup, and depending upon the situation, the investor might just be looking to invest in a royalty based miner, or or a miner which is actually digging into the ground and extracting gold, etc. So their earnings came out there, and look at this fabulous candle formation. It has broken above the this 22nd of December highs. So in my opinion, now it's in a confirmed ABCD higher. So we could be looking at prices from 46.38 to around 47.60, with the 1.6 minute expansion coming around $51 per share level. Now here, something really interesting is to see is that this stock had been this in this channel formation here. So this is the concept of symmetry. It's really easy, so clearly visible in the channel formation. So the previous biggest rally had been of this much magnitude, but any subsequent rally was not able to take this out until now. So that has changed the structure. And here, yeah, sure, there could be a pullback. Maybe it comes back and challenge the lows of this one and challenge the bottom of this upper channel here. But looks like the chances are that it is actually an ABCD formation moving higher. So this looks pretty good. It could also be thought of as a cup and handle formation. So there has been a nice cup formation here, and then there was this kind of formation here where it just broke out of it. So in my opinion, it's also a cup and handle kind of a pattern as well. So this miner looks good. Then let's take a look at let me actually bring my list of miners around here. So this one is the whale. Whale looks pretty interesting. If we look at just this formation around here, it's been in a downward trend for a long time, and it seems to be approaching towards the end of it, in my opinion, because of this triangle pattern formation, and it has tested the bottom of these lows. So an interesting one, perhaps there is a setup as well, because the lows it formed, the key lows around 19th of November, they are not that far below this line, and of course the bigger key lows are around below the 1030 level. So this one is to keep an eye on, and it looks like it might also be getting ready to move higher, and the reason is possibly there is an inverse head and shoulder pattern around here. I see there is a pretty good symmetry between the left shoulder and the right shoulder. So that's something I really like to see, if there is like a harmony in that. So we have a really nice harmony in there. And perhaps one could also wait to see if it's able to take out the swing high around 1268. So, you know, that this is a really good one to keep an eye on. Whale looks that is setting up a pattern to actually take these swing highs out, test these swing highs, and maybe beyond that. So keep an eye on this one. Then the next one is the Agnico Eagle Mines. Here it has had a fantastic run, completed this ABCD that we were watching for, and I believe in our video that I had done, in which we looked at the miners, we had actually discussed this, and now it's gone and actually tested these highs coming in from 14th of April 2022, and it's just pulling back lower because it's completed our ABCD. I think this is one should keep on their watch list, but the patterns or the ABCDs that we like to watch, it seems to have completed that. So there was also 1.272 expansion. However, if it begins to move higher, of course, and pretty strongly, and begins to take these 72 level out, then there's really strong and good for the Agnico Eagle stock. This one is the El Dorado Gold Corporation. We also took a look at this one, and we were watching for this ABCD formation. We have multiple ABCD formations completing at 1529 and just below 1512. The market, of course, went a little bit above that, and if you look at last Friday's price action after completing our ABCD, it's not a good looking candle, and if there is no follow through and we close lower, you know, then that's gonna be not a very good, actually it's going to be pretty ugly kind of a signal. So again here, just put it on the watch list for now, in my opinion, because it's completed our ABCD patterns that we were watching for. So another one which completed that. Then we have the Gold Fields Limited. I don't think we had have had a look at this one. This one is not very expensive, it's only $17.53, and the chances are it might actually also be completing several ABCDs. So let's take a quick look. So there we go. We copy this. Boom. Yep, it has done that. So again, put it on the watch list, and yeah, just keep on watching this one for now. This one is Harmony Gold. Haven't had a look at this one, but you know, this price action as of Friday the 12th is not a good looking candle, and the price, as long as it remains above 20-day moving average, yeah, maybe it's got a chance to test a little bit higher. But if it begins to close lower, it's just, you know, for the watch list in my opinion. Mag Silver, we'll leave that one. Vista Gold, let's take a look at the Vista Gold. It's a very it's a penny stock, in fact, and yeah, and it's just been moving lower for a long time. So this is the interesting thing, that some of the gold miners, they have been just not moving just the way the underlying commodity is. So this is why I say that if anyone is looking to take a position in the miners, they need to do the homework and actually select the kind of good stock to trade with the miners. Just because the gold is moving, you know, like commodity is moving, we have seen the miners are not exactly moving like that. So here, yeah, it's just, I don't see the ABCD completed here, but it remains below these highs, so one needs to just watch this. First Majestic silver stock. So this is silver. Here again, what we see is, I believe it just completed its 1.618 expansion there. So let's just keep on watching this unless it breaks above 88.10. Then maybe it's just getting bullish, but for now it's just moving back into this range. This is the Almos Gold. I think we'll just keep on moving till we find something. Yeah, this is the Freeport McMoran. This one is interesting because it's trading right at these highs again, and I think it has also completed the this bigger ABCD price formation. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, it's just about there. So let's keep on watching this one because of this completion and right at these tops. The chances are it might actually pull back if it begins to close below the 20-day moving average. Then we have the Franco-Nevada. I think the Franco-Nevada is one of those stocks which is a royalty stock, and this is why you see it's priced at 122. Some of the actual miners, because of the kind of operations involved, you know, they are trading at lesser price levels. This one is right at the 38.2% retracement. Just keep on watching this Franco-Nevada. This is the VanEck Gold Miners Index, and here, yeah, it's just, you know, testing these highs again. And then we have the Barrick Gold. This is something that we were watching for, and we had pointed out this 78.6% Fibonacci retracement. The stock is not able to get above that. Fairly ugly looking candle, testing the 20-day moving average. So momentum is not that great. This is Hecla Mining, finding resistance from 1.272. This is McEwen. Well, I think I'm gonna skip that one. Newmont, we have already taken a look at. There's so many stocks to take a look at. New Gold. Okay, big list I have. I think this one is interesting because this one is the Wheaton Precious Metals, but this one trading on LSE. Let's get the one which is on New York Stock Exchange, and here we go. Yeah, it's a very interesting because it is getting very close to its highs. So I think I'll do more analysis on this one later on, but this one I think I'll just keep an eye on for now. Okay, so what we have done is we have taken a look at the gold market, silver market, and some of the key precious metal or the miners. So yeah, apologies, the video is really long, so I think I'm just gonna cut it short here. I will be doing more videos on the technology stocks, the financial stocks, and also tomorrow I'll do a video about the stock indices. It's gonna be a really interesting one to take a look at that one. So thank you very much for watching the video. Good luck, good trading. Speak soon.